That is insane. Jason, what do we got here?
All right, Rich, super excited to have you here. I'm going to be doing a plant-based barbecue Western bowl. So a lot of classic American flavors, but super fresh, super refreshing, tons of nutrition. So the first layer of the barbecue Western bowl, this is some massaged kale with some avocado, some tomato, some sliced almonds, really high in calcium, magnesium, vitamin K, and antioxidants.
When you say massage, what does that mean?
That means once I put the dressing in, I actually like to break up the kale with my hands because it's so fibrous as a cruciferous vegetable and just has a better mouthfeel when you put a little love into it with your hands, which is what my grandma taught me to do. That's actually what inspired me to be a chef. Next up, I have some crispy roasted potatoes. This is with some fresh rosemary, and you could either use coconut oil, or if you wanted to do it oil-free, you could roast it for about 20 to 25 minutes in some vegetable broth. But the cool thing, man, is that a lot of people don't know how nutritious potatoes are.
People think of them as a sort of toss-away food, but in fact, they're incredibly nutritious.
Next up, we've got a dairy-free coleslaw, which is made from shredded white and red cabbage, a little bit of carrot, and also a pea protein-based, plant-based mayonnaise. So the reason I'm using a plant-based mayonnaise is it's more alkaline, which decreases inflammation in the body. And the secret ingredient, fennel seeds. Now, fennel seeds are often used in Indian cooking or Latin cooking, but in this application, I'm using it because it really helps to increase the digestibility of the coleslaw. All right, so the next layer, I have my version of classic barbecue baked beans. So I've used some organic navy beans in here. You could use pinto beans, black beans, but the secret, you add a little bit of kombu seaweed. It removes a lot of that bloaty gassing effect. And I made the sauce out of maple syrup, a little bit of coconut sugar, apple cider vinegar, tomato paste, and a whole bunch of great spices like cayenne and chili powder.
Sounds better than whatever you get out of a can.
Yeah, seriously. This is really, I think, the star of the recipe. This is our barbecued tempeh. Tempeh is a fermented soybean cake. It's really meaty and hearty. It's somewhere between bacon and ribs, but of course is 100% plant-based. Tempeh comes in about an 8 or 9 ounce package. It usually comes in a block, much like tofu. What I really love to do, and the secret to making good tempeh, is actually like to steam it first. A lot of people will cook tempeh and they'll put it in a marinade, and it doesn't really soak in the flavor as much. But if you put it in a steamer basket for about 10 minutes, you open it up, then put it in the marinade, it really soaks in the flavor that way. So we'll hit it with a little bit of parsley on top, and again, a little squeeze of lemon juice. That, my friend, is the barbecue Western bowl. Look at that.
Am I going to be getting everything that I need to not only feel good, but function as an athlete?
Definitely in terms of nutrition, Rich. We covered the macros, the proteins, the fats, and the carbs, but I'm always thinking as a chef about the micronutrient values of, did we get the vitamin K with the kale? Yes, absolutely. Did we get the calcium in there? Did we get the protein, the amino acids? For sure. Did we get the full spectrum mineralization with the calcium and the magnesium? I'm just really thinking about packing as much essential nutrition in one bowl as possible. And of course, the bottom line is it's gotta taste good, because you can make the most nutritious plant-based meal in the world, but if it doesn't please people's palates, they're not going to want to eat it.
Permission to eat?
Granted!
All right.
Yeah, the only challenge is really just making sure you get all of, all the goodness in one bite. That's the most challenging thing about the good bowls here at Switch4Good.
That is insane. Super good. It does have that barbecue-y texture to it. The potato and the beans, it just feels like you're home. You know what I mean?
Man.
And I think a lot of people get intimidated by plant-based eating because they think they're gonna have to spend all this time in the kitchen. There's gonna be all these strange foods they haven't heard about. But if you look at this, everything here are things that everybody knows about. They know how to make them for the most part. This is super simple. My wife is the big chef in our house. I let her because she's amazing. But even I could make this, I think.
Start to finish, we're looking at about 25 to 30 minutes from top to bottom. Again, super quick and easy, and like all of the good bowls here at Switch4Good, you can just bulk prep a lot of this. I can roast a huge pan of potatoes, get a ton of beans going. I'll make food for the week, so I've got food for 5 days.
My kids are pretty finicky, actually.
Okay.
But I know that they would love this.
Okay, good.
It's very kid-friendly. And also substantial enough to fill me up and make me feel sated.
Awesome. Yeah. Perfect.